Lesson 43. God will make a way. The Israelites met their end of a line when in front of them they faced the Red Sea, and behind them the Egyptian army was attacking them, and they had nowhere to run. In their minds they were doomed, but God had a plan. He knew exactly how to bring their salvation. Most of the times things are not always as they seem because there is so much only one can do, and at times you may face great roadblocks and opposition which restrict you from moving forward. The worst you can do is to start complaining and giving up hope. Such kind of attitude builds up a negative attitude in your life that accomplishes nothing. It was the same thing with the Israelites. God delivered them from the hands of the Egyptian. They still did not believe God will deliver them in that Red Sea situation as well. They thought it's going to be a walk in a park after leaving Egypt. But God continually tests them in their will and character to see are they still willing to depend on God. Will they acknowledge His greatness in all what they do? The more they did not allow God to take control of their lives, the more they faced God's test and the more time it took for them to reach the promised land. In other words, they never learned what the will of God is, and none of them who saw God's deliverance in Egypt set their feet in the promised land except for Caleb and Joshua. You see, the path to the promised land is never easy. It is a test of your character and your commitment to God, and most of the times there are not so many people who enters it. God is determined for you to see great days ahead, but the question is, are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to let God lead the way, especially when you find there is no way through? He says in Isaiah 43, verse 2, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. You are never alone. God is there to direct you wherever you go, and He assures you, the enemies that you see them, you will see them no more. In most cases, you judge things by seeing. You know what happened in the past, and you choose to dwell, thinking about it and how it affects your future, or you see an issue happening to you and you let it define you. Maybe you started a career which you were so much hopeful for, and in the end it comes into nothing, and you keep on blaming yourself or blame the system for your setbacks. But you need to know nothing is always seems as it is. You need a third eye to the problem. You need to realize that God can make a way where it seems to be no way if you decide to let Him. Believe in His promises and continually depending on Him no matter what. You need to know that what is unseen is more powerful than what you see in front of you. When Elisha and the group of prophets were surrounded by the army from Aram, he did not fear, panic, or complain when his servant was worried because he had the army of the Lord who was unseen around him and protecting him from what is happening. Although we cannot see, the Lord is continually protecting us against all evil, and His help is within your reach if you just ask and let Him lead you through. God's ways are not our ways, and His thoughts is not our thoughts. He understands what we need better than we could ever do. Sitting on our past mistakes and keep worrying about the problems that we have will not make any good for you. You need to think beyond what is happening and have the courage to move forward with faith, knowing that what is happening is temporary compared to the glory God has in store for us.